this is the third round of the tournament, and if I want to have a good tournament, I absolutely need to win this game. I'm at 1.5 point out of 3, and this is the lowest rated player I played against in the tournament, which is crazy. It is pretty strong, more than 1700, but I'm playing as black. And this game shows you what it takes to win a game in classical live chess. So let's start. He played d4, d5, my reply, and he played, after a kind of a long thought, he played knight on c3. Now, if your opponent thinks a lot in the opening, there is a nice chance he really doesn't know what to do. I mean, he played this move thinking this was a surprise and it wasn't really prepared, probably. But yeah, it is definitely a surprise, the Chigorin. Actually, during the game, I was like, well, I studied everything except, now that I think about it, if they play the Chigorin, I really don't know what to play. And they played knight on c3, obviously. So I kinda knew what to play. There is a line which is a side line, pretty much no one knows it pretty well. And the c5. And my opponent was really surprised. Now, I knew some lines about this opening, but I wasn't really prepared because I forgot about the Chigoring, honestly. And yeah, c5. The best move is e4, which he played. And this is the... okay, this is still the Irish Gambit. And by the way, if you take black just gets a really good position. We play knight on f6 in order to defend the pawn. You cannot really defend these. You can't. Okay, let's say you play this. I'm going to play a5. You cannot play a3 because they takes rook falls. And yeah, it is pretty complicated for you. And instead of doing this, let's say you play... I don't know, if for e3, knight on f3 they played, you have the move at least e3, but even knight c6 in order to prepare the move e5 and then win the pawn. So you have a really good position. And it is an opening that I suggest you to play. So he played d4, and now we can take the e pawn. That's important. If you take the d pawn, it just takes with the queen and gets a really decent position. So we take the e pawn. And the problem is that if you take, I'm just going to take, defend the pawn, and this pawn is pretty weak. So you cannot really do that. And the best move is d5, which he played, but now it gets quite complicated for white, I would say. We play the move knight on f6. Now, if you play the move bishop on g5, which looks pretty natural, we still have knight b on d7. So if you take, we are going to take, and the pawn is still defended. And let's say you play bishop b5 because you really want to win the pawn. You are actually in trouble. After they play the move a6, you take bishop takes the knight, and we take with the e pawn, and knight takes. You win the pawn back, that's true. The problem is that I have the move queen on e7. Let's say you defend with queen on e2, I think pretty much the only move. Long castle, rook e8, bishop b5 is coming, black stand much better and is probably close to winning. So going back, let's see. Okay, instead of playing this, you could play the move bishop on f4 and then a6 in order to prevent everything. And this is complicated to play. Probably the best way to play against this opening, and you should play queen on e2 in order to win the pawn. But as you can see, these are not easy moves to play. Castling long is not something you do often when you play d4. And now we play d6, knight takes, and wait, no, it's not even knight takes, it's long castle, bishop g7, knight takes, queen takes, bishop f5, queen e3, queen a5 ideas. It's complicated to play. I would rather play this position with black, although white has his stuff to play. It's not that easy. Okay, going back, as you can see, it is pretty complicated. He played f3, Now he played f3 because he didn't know theory, and f3 I knew it wasn't a good one. Like, you are supposed to win a pawn back, and if you don't win the pawn back and just up a pawn in a position that is, I mean, is defendable after you play a6. Now, I knew I wasn't crazy better, but I am already better in the opening against the 1700, which means that the opening went absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect opening. So, a6, what is the point? I'm just preventing bishop b5, knight on b5, all the noise stuff honestly makes a ton of sense. I want to play b5 in the future and then bishop b7 maybe. This pawn is pretty weak. Another idea is that I want to play e6 in order to win the pawn. a4 and now e6. e6 is inaccurate. I should have played g6, bishop g7 and then short castle. To be fair, I didn't know what to play, like I'm out of theory obviously. And I thought e6 was pretty good because, you know, if you take with raid, still up a pawn. What I didn't evaluate correctly is that after they play bishop on c4 is not easy. Like, now we are equal. It's not easy because even if I take, I'm not really sure about a position like this. So let's say I take and then knight takes. What can I do? I don't think bishop on e7, so I probably have to take, then bishop takes, I guess. And then bishop on e7, the knight is coming, is going to castle short. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. I actually have pretty active pieces. So that's why I shouldn't have played e6. And I decided to play bishop on e7. What is the point? You want to take this? Okay, you can take it. You can take it. And I saw a position like this. And I thought this pawn was defendable somehow. But it's not easy. Like, I thought about this move, but then the knight gets in. So I think I thought about even something else, but right now I don't remember. Although there is the move knight c6. But even short castle and you attack the rook. I thought it was still better, but it's not so clear. But I accepted it in order to, you know, don't give my opponent too much activity, because he might have a lot of activity. He decided to castle short, which makes sense. And I was like, well, now that I think about it, he's going to win this pawn. The king now is on a better position, so he has connected rooks. So it's not the same thing as before. And I thought that taking was the better idea. So you take. And now you could play bishop on e6. But I didn't play it, and I don't remember why. There was a reason. Let's say you play bishop on e6. Knight takes, we check, take. Ah yeah, because it is still pretty much the same thing. It is still pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I saw queen on e2. And I thought I had a way to keep the pawn. Like, if I played at this point, bishop takes, I can castle and I'm okay. In this position, I saw that I wasn't okay at all. Like, if I castle and go for the plan of keeping the pawn, I lose. My idea was that if I castle and you play knight on e5, because knight on e5 is the most natural move ever, you play bishop on f6. This was my idea that I saw in the distance. After he played bishop takes, I saw this loses. This loses two different tactics, not even one. And luckily saw them. I think even this works. But let's say you take on f7. This is a huge problem. Because if I take the knight back, and let's say, yeah, bishop takes. Yeah, bishop takes. You can just win the queen. And yeah, instead of doing that, there is also bishop takes. And if you take, you can take the queen and the rook falls. The other idea is that you can sacrifice the rook. I believe you can. No, maybe it wasn't like that. Okay, but yeah, it is over if you play bishop on f6. And that's why I'm in trouble right now. Luckily, I saw, again, from the distance, a way to defend. And I decided to play bishop on e6. Bishop on e6 is the way to defend. Now, and this is important if you want to win games in classical chess. If you made a mistake, you can't keep going for that idea. You have to say, okay, I made a mistake. I was better, now I'm not. Let's find a way to defend. I don't want to lose, let's find a way to defend. I'm not winning. I have to understand that. I have to understand that I'm not winning anymore. I need to defend at this point. So stop attacking, it's time to defend. So, bishop takes. Obviously, because if you play this pawn is hanging, and I saw that. And I thought that after rook on a7, so I gave a pawn back. Although after you take, this bishop is not super great. And I developed this bishop, so now talking about activity, I'm fine. I'm pretty fine, and this position is equal. So yeah, this was a really good defensive idea. Giving the pawn away, so we are equal. Talking about material and talking about activity, I'm fine. I decided to trade queens. I took. Now, if you play this thinking this is a fork, you actually lose. Just take and GG. I don't think there is something more. Yeah, okay. Just this. So he didn't play this move, obviously. Bishop backs because it was under attack. And now I played a dumb move. Bishop on f6. Why is it dumb? Because after you play bishop on f4, like, this knight is not really going anywhere. This bishop was better than this diagonal, because now it's even harder to move this rook. This rook is not well placed. Yes, two monster bishops. And I am in trouble. I played the move rook on d4. I wasn't sure about this move. The fact is that I can't really move anything. Okay, I should have tried to move the knight. But no, wait, actually not. And that's why I didn't move it. Because if I play this, there is a fork. So as you can see, I can't really move. And I don't know what to do. I thought about taking, but come on. This is bad. Giving away the couple of bishops like this. No. That's terrible. So I thought that playing rook on d4 made sense. At least it's on another position, and the idea is going on b4. Because again, if I play this, there is still a fork. So the bishop backs up. There is also another idea, because I thought that rook on b4 wasn't even that great, because you can probably attack me. b3 and then c3. And I'm still in trouble. I thought that playing rook on d2 was better, which is true. Rook on d2 and now rook on f2 in order to defend the pawn. And I was, kinda relieved now. Because since I traded a pair of rooks, it's not going to have a fork. So it's already a good thing. I'm definitely worst. I don't have space, but it's playable. Rook on e7, pretty much the only decent square where I can put my rook. And the idea is that after you play rook d1, I have knight on d7. So if you trade, I'm better. I'm probably better. If you keep trading everything. This is under attack. It is defendable like this. So yeah, okay, might not be better, but it is pretty equal. So I was fine with the draw at this point, obviously, because I'm definitely worst. And instead of doing that, my opponent played knight on c6, which is inaccurate because after I played rook on e8, well, you don't have a lot of stuff. Like, this knight is not going anywhere. So yeah, it wasn't a super clever move to play, probably. Now he played b3 and g6. Now g6 is bad. Apparently I should have played bishop on f5 that way. Although after I play this, I think there is just this. Or might... Okay, this and g6. So somehow it changes. Because after I play g6, you can play something else. Bishop on f4, I think in order to target the pawn makes sense. But even bishop on e2 in order to target this. It is difficult to play. This position is pretty difficult to play. I would say for both sides. Because this is a pretty weak pawn and this pawn are weak too. Your king is kinda weak. So yeah, it's not easy to play. Bishop on f5 is a mistake if you find bishop on g4. I thought was better. Bishop on g4 takes knight e5. I will play it. Takes bishop take. So what? a5? And that's supposed to lose? Probably. Because there is probably this, and what? Rook a8, this, and then this. No, but then I defend again. Rook a7. I mean, it's not that simple. It's not that simple to win. Rook c7, I still defend. And then you give the check. Now I see it. Yeah. This check and then you win it. Okay, it's not easy to find all these moves. To be fair. Yeah, bishop g4 was a pretty good move. I didn't see it. Not even closely. I didn't even think about the fact this was a good move. To be fair. So, my opponent played bishop on f4. In order to without it and put pressure on the pawn. And now knight on f8. Knight on f8 is the best move I found. I think. Maybe not ever, but is one of the best. Knight on f8 is crazy good. First of all, I want to mention, I wanted to play knight on e5 and draw the game. Oh, there is rook e1. Which I don't remember about seeing this move during the game. Okay, but I didn't play this because I thought, well, we played and it is a draw. And I decided, you know what? I make this mistake too often, playing for the draw in a position that is still plenty of life, because it's not easy to play. Even if I'm black and it's difficult to play. I want to play a game. I think I have a shot to win this. I'm kinda comfortable with this position. And that's why I decided to play knight on f8. Knight on f8 is just a great move. The idea of rerouting the knight in order to put the knight on d4 is pretty strong. The other idea is that this is free, so I might play this move. And the file is open, so you cannot even do something with your king. So yeah, this is a pretty good move. Bishop on d5 and knight on e6. Now taking it doesn't make any sense. If you take it, you just give me the bishop. It's not a good move. And instead of doing that, I just decided to play bishop on e3, which makes sense, targeting the pawn. Now you might threaten to take and then to win the pawn, but it's not that easy. I could even capture with the rook, for example, and the knight will be under attack. So it's not that simple. But now this pawn is hanging. And I thought about this move for a really long time, because this might be a winning move. Might be a winning move. And my idea was, if I take, I mean, I thought it was a draw, but it wasn't that easy for him. You play rook c1. I play something like, I don't know. Well, I thought bishop on d3 made a lot of sense. Bishop on d3, and now you could take. The point is that if you take, though, or there is knight on f4, but I was like, this happens, and I get him with the rook. I have the couple of bishop. This pawn is defended. You have a turn on one. That's the move. although it's hard to play. So I might have some winning chance. So going back, this was my idea. The problem is that I completely missed the fact that he just had rook on d2. I missed it. Luckily he doesn't lose. I mean, it's a move you play if you want to draw. He played this, I mean, was completely sure about it draw. Even asked me if I wanted the draw. I said no, and he's trying to try to find a way to escape the repetition. The problem is that I don't have squares. I can't go this way, I can't go this way. If I go on b1, he still plays rook on d1, I go on c2, rook on d2. If I play bishop on f5, he's going to play g4, and I'm risking it. So I just said, you know what, I'm going back. Don't want to risk it. Maybe he's going to change idea. Either with white, it's something you would like to avoid, but you know, you had to take it. He attacked my bishop, I went back, and now if I go back, it's a draw. I was like, you know what, I'm going to risk it, and I saw a crazy line. And I actually decided to go back and play this. Not because I wanted to draw, but because I wanted the rook on d2. If the rook is on d2, bishop on f5 works. What I mean with this is that after you play g4, I don't have to go back. And my opponent missed this idea. I have bishop on h4. And the problem with having a rook on d2 is that if you play king on f3, I can play knight on g5. Now, if you move the king, whatever, I'm going to move the bishop. Now I can save it, and it's not a draw. And it's difficult for you, because your king is pretty weak. But if you take it, my point was that your rook is on d2. That's the important part. You cannot take my bishop because your rook is hanging. That's what I saw. And this is a crazy line. Now you had to play rook on e2. I guess we played. I have the pair of bishops. I am up a pawn. Stockfish is saying this is equal, but wait, it's not that easy, obviously. So, going back, this is something that you don't want to play though. King on f3, if you saw the line, because you're not sure this is going to be a draw. So instead of doing that, he decided to play king on g2, which makes a lot of sense. Now my bishop is under attack. I have to play bishop on b1. Now, can he still play rook on d1, attack my bishop, and it is still going to be a repetition? No. He cannot do that, and so why? If you attack the bishop at this point, the point of this variation is that I have the move knight on c7. Knight on c7. What it does is that the bishop is hanging. If you take, this bishop is hanging. Now you have to be careful. You have to be really careful. For example, you can't even take this because I'm going to win the game on the spot. Take, rook take, check, GG. So it's not even a free pawn. He decided to take my bishop. And I thought he had something better, but I don't remember what. So he decided to take the bishop, and now knight takes on d5 is minus 2.5. I decided to take this bishop. I thought it made a lot more sense. Maybe it wasn't that clever. I mean, my idea is that my rook now is activated, super strong, and you have to waste the time with the bishop. It's under attack. The problem might be, I think, that we have opposite colored bishops. So if you can trade the right pieces, is a draw. But I mean, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. So this would have been better, but I'm going to lose the pawn. At least that's what I thought. So yeah, I decided to take. The bishop goes back. Now knight on e6. Is this under attack? Well, not that much. I mean, you could take it, but then I get in and win this. And this pawn is super weak. Rook on f1, and now knight on g5. As you can see, I am clearly better now, because I decided to play all that line. It was difficult to find a line like that, but I got rewarded for it, and now I'm up a pawn in a really good position. Knight on d8, he put in pressure. It is a tricky move. I decided to give a check. I won the pawn and give a check again. Now this is not over. He's saying that I should take. I didn't want to take, because if I take, there is knight takes. Ooh. Okay, I missed it. Okay, so let's say bishop take, but bishop take is not scary. Okay, I totally missed this. I'm dumb. If you take, you win on the spot, because there isn't a discovery, since I can take the bishop with the rook. Totally forgot about it. Now at this point, we are playing for almost 3 hours. 3 hours in the game. We're not going to play good moves. Just telling you. My brain is not in the best condition ever. So knight on f3. Because I was scared about this, I didn't see the sacrifice. The point is that I'm blocking your rook. I'm going to lose a pawn, I know that. But I have pretty good pieces. And I'm still going to win this in the future. So still up material anyway. So I was happy with this move, to be fair. And the knight is pretty active. Decided to play this, and now we traded a ton of pieces. So this is the position, this is the endgame. This is not the easiest endgame ever. Because these pawns are on the corner. I mean, I have an h pawn. The king is already on a good square in order to defend. The knight is tricky, and his rook is powerful. My king is still not really active. It's not an easy endgame to win. For various stalemate ideas and stuff. So, rook on e2, the idea is that, well, your king is out of the game for the whole game. So, this should be a good start, at least if you want to win a game. Now I decided to play h5, which is probably dumb. He says I should have played g5 with the idea of g4 and then h5, and I have a ton of space. What I did was absolutely stupid, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that again. This wasn't the best move ever, because after you give a check, I decided to go on h5, which is dumb. On h6. It is dumb because my king has no squares. And I voluntarily decided to do that, to put my king in jail. I'm risking to get mated, or I'm risking to draw somehow. So yeah, it is really stupid. In fact, rook on f8. And this is a draw. I managed to draw this. As I said, it's not easy to play, and if you play like this, you draw the game, because after they give you a check, and you play rook on h8, they have the really annoying move, rook g8. Now, looks like it doesn't do a lot. I can't move. I just can't move. Bishop on e7 in order to get away with something. Knight on f4. Good luck defending this. You can't defend this. If you push, thinking you are clever, this is checkmate. That's what I missed. And my opponent missed that too. So, rook on e8, bishop on g5, and it is once again a draw for the same pattern. Rook g8, we totally missed it many times. King on g2, h4. Now I don't think there is the same pattern. Shouldn't be. I can just move and defend. But apparently king on h3 and it is a draw anyway. Because now you can take. How is this going to be a draw? You cannot play this because I just attacked the rook. And this is a draw? You see? You see? I told you, this is not easy to win. Apparently, well, if your opponent plays correctly, you can't even win this. Because he has really empty pieces, and my pawns are an H and a G pawn. So talking about these pawns, they are pretty terrible. There are many stalemate ideas, so as you can see, it's very pretty hard to win. I thought this was winning, but apparently it's not. It is not winning if you play correctly. He decided not to trade, which makes sense, and played rook on g8 now. I decided to attack the knight. He gave a check, bishop covers, and now knight on f4, giving a check once again, but I have the move king on g5. Now, if you sacrifice the rook, that doesn't make any sense. He attacked the rook on d7, the knight goes on f4, he's low on time, is not playing the most precise move ever, and now I'm completely winning. Why? Because after I take the knight and you take my bishop, he missed something pretty important. I have a really strong move. He missed the move king on g5. King on g5 is so strong because you cannot take my pawn. If you take, there is the check, and I win the rook. And it is so strong because now, the most important thing is that you had to waste the time. I gave a check, and now it's completely winning because your king is cut off the game, and my king is finally decent. My king is finally good, and I can push the pawns. That's why it's a draw now. Before I didn't have empty pieces, now I have empty pieces and it is indeed winning. So I gave a check, splitting the king, and I start pushing the pawns, as you can see. Now it's still not super easy to win. Like maybe there is a easy way to win this that you have to study. I wasn't sure how to win this. But I mean, if I push the pawns, there has to be a way. My idea was, if I manage to put the pawn in this position, so I have h3 and g3, I'm cutting off all the squares and I'm threatening to mate my opponent, so at that point I want to move the king and threaten to win. So this was my idea. But in the meanwhile, I have to shuffle the pieces. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Again, you could draw in any moment for the stalemate, so you need to be careful. Decided to give a check, and now king on e2. I thought was pretty clever with it, and now it is just winning. Now instead of going on the inside, maybe rook on f8 could have been a bit more resilient, but I have the move g3. And there has to be a way to win. Let's say rook on f7, king on d3, you give a check. King on e4, you give a check. I think I got it. You play this, check, check, and I'm threatening to play this and win. So, in fact, if you play this, I have this and it's over. This, check, I make a queen. This should be pretty easy to win, even if you play rook g8. Let's say you play rook g8 now. There has to be a way. Rook a3, rook c3. What if I play this? King h2. There has to be a way. King e1, but it's a draw. In fact, or king e1. You give a check once again. King f1. Rook g8. Rook f2. Threatening this. Okay, this was the idea. That's how you win this. You make a queen with check. Ah, now I get it. Yeah, as you can see, it's not that easy to win. Yeah, but instead of doing that, my opponent decided to go on this side, and now it's super easy to win. Now it's over. If you give a check, I have this, and I'm going to play this. Now, you can draw the game. Again, you can still draw the game. These people are tricky. They don't want to lose. They hate losing. You have to be focused all the time, because if you take the rook, this is stalemate. Once again, now you have 2 ways to win, or even more, many ways to win. Rook d1 or g2. Now the arbiter said me after the game that if I played g2, I would have been a gigachad. The point is that you play this, I make a knight for some reason. And oh, is mate? Yeah, because you go this way, you have this. Oh, and it's mate. I'm so bad. I was so nervous and I was so tired. I missed all the sequence, but I saw the knight promotion. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to think. I played rook d1 and my opponent resigned. There is no way. I'm not going to win this. You have to take. I take. You try to go away. This is stalemate once again, be careful. You play this, and I play, yeah, this. I make a queen GG. So yeah, I won the game. As you can see, it takes a lot of nerves in order to win a game in chess against a strong player. You need to think a lot. You need to get really tired and use all of your energies. We played for 3.5 hours. A really long time, but yeah, I won the game. I'm pretty happy. Overall, it wasn't a terrible game. I made several mistakes, but it was hard to calculate everything. So yeah, overall, I'm satisfied with the game. And that's it for today, guys, and see you soon with the final game. And I'm going to play against the stronger player I ever met.